Hat, sunglasses, Pepsi, notes, sources, thick skin, check. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to Golden Blue today, everybody. This is a college football channel. So if you like college football, hit the like and subscribe button. It's that simple. Also, send gear to represent your team and be a part of my background forever. All you have to do is send it to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Before I get into this video, let me make one thing perfectly clear, alright? I am not trash talking Notre Dame. This is not a Notre Dame trash talking video. I am trash talking the ACC. Are we clear? Not trash talking Notre Dame. I am trash talking the ACC. Alright, now that we got that straightened out, one of the worst decisions that the ACC has ever made was dating but not marrying Notre Dame. That's what I'm going to call it. Dating but not marrying Notre Dame. They're allowing them to be a part of the ACC, but Notre Dame is still not a full-time member of the ACC. And it has not helped the ACC at all. Like everybody knew. How would that help the ACC? Because whenever Notre Dame does accomplish anything, none of that goes towards the ACC. They're not really making any money for the ACC. So why would that work out? It made no sense. Overall, Notre Dame is a historic program. They are the #1 brand in the United States. The most recognizable brand in all of the United States whenever it comes to college football. Overall, they're 930 and 332 with 42 ties. That's a really good record right there. Now, it's been a while since they won a national championship, 1988, when they beat West Virginia. Think about that. The last time Notre Dame won a national championship is whenever they beat lowly West Virginia. That doesn't sound too good. Now, they've had some good seasons here and there since that national championship, but they haven't won a national championship since then. They officially joined the ACC, except for football, September 12th, 2012. And here's what they've done in the ACC so far. In 2012, they went 12-1. They did go to the national championship and got beat. They got beat bad by Alabama. But even going to the national championship generates a lot of money. None of that money went towards the ACC. It all went towards Notre Dame. 2013, they went 9-4. 2014, they went 8-5. Lost the ACC champion, Florida State, 31-27, so they put up a good fight. 2015, went 10-3. Lost the ACC champion, Clemson, 24-22. Put up a good fight that year. Then they went 4-8 in 2016, 10-3 in 2017, 12-1 in 2018. But lost to Clemson in the Cotton Bowl in the first round of the playoffs, 30-3. What a showing, Notre Dame. 2019, they went 11-2. 2020, they went 10-2. They beat Clemson in the regular season, got to the ACC championship, lost to Clemson in the ACC championship, went to the playoffs, and lost in the first round of the playoffs. Again, none of that playoff money went towards the ACC. But Clemson also made the playoffs that year. Some of that money went towards the ACC. See, Clemson does help the ACC. In 2021, they went 11-2. And in 2022, this year, so far, they're 8-3. And they've beaten the best team out of the Atlantic, Clemson, 35-14. And they beat the best team out of the Coastal, North Carolina, 45-32. Notre Dame is an enigma this year. Overall, 8-3. First game at #2, Ohio State. Decent showing. Lost 21-10. Then they lost to Marshall at home. How that happened, I don't know. 26-21. Then they beat Cal. Didn't look good though. 24-17. Then they go on the road and beat a decent North Carolina. 45-32. They go to Las Vegas and beat a pretty good BYU at the time, number 16. 28-20. Then they lost to Stanford 16-14, beat UNLV 44-21, went on the road and blasted number 16 Syracuse 41-24, came back home and blasted number 4 Clemson 35-14. Then they beat Navy in Baltimore by 3 points, 35-32, and they just beat Boston College 44-0. So they actually hurt the ACC this year when it comes to the playoffs. Now, I know North Carolina lost to Georgia Tech, and that was the final nail in the coffin as far as any shot of getting to the playoffs. But had North Carolina beaten Notre Dame, they probably beat Georgia Tech as well. And we're looking at a Clemson versus North Carolina undefeated in the ACC championship if Clemson would have beaten Notre Dame. So Notre Dame flat out hurt the ACC badly this year. They could be the reason why the ACC gets left out of the playoffs altogether. So this year, Notre Dame was an actual liability to the ACC. Another thing that doesn't make any sense to me is Notre Dame is not a full-time member in football, but somehow, some way, the ACC gave them a vote as far as the future of the ACC. Listen, I've been talking about conference realignment for a very long time, and the ACC has been one of those conferences that I've talked about a lot. The first mistake, the biggest mistake, I should say, that the ACC ever made was never accepting West Virginia. That made absolutely no sense. Now, for the longest time, the reason for that was because of Maryland. Maryland did not want West Virginia in the ACC. According to Maryland, West Virginia was just not good enough to ever join the ACC. Well, Maryland eventually went to the Big Ten. See how that came back and bit you in the rear end? Now they think you're not good enough for them. They went to the Big Ten. So they're gone. That black ball that was there was gone, and they still don't bring in West Virginia. And all the ACC fans, well, it's because West Virginia has bad academics. Well, that excuse went out the window whenever you brought in Louisville, because Louisville also has bad academics. So for whatever reason, the ACC has always said no to West Virginia. The biggest mistake that the ACC has ever made. The ACC looks like it's floundering right now. And what I'm hearing is that the 8 teams needed to vote to dissolve the ACC and get rid of the grant of rights. That way teams can exit the ACC without a massive exit fee. They exist. And I'm hearing that one of those teams is Notre Dame. So the team that's not a full-time member in football that you inexplicably gave a vote to could be one of the teams that literally tears your conference apart. 2 huge mistakes that the ACC has made, and it absolutely makes no sense. I don't understand it, and it's hurt them. They're not good decisions. I would understand if these were good decisions and they helped the ACC, but these are horrible decisions and they hurt the ACC. Keeping out West Virginia, that's absolutely idiotic. You have Pitt in there. You have Syracuse in there. You have Louisville in there. You have Virginia Tech in there. You have Boston College in there. You have Miami in there. And then you have a bunch of other Eastern teams that would probably develop rivalries with West Virginia. If West Virginia would have been in the ACC 20, 30 years by now, yes, they would have rivalries with Virginia, NC State, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Florida State, the Bobby Bowden history. There you go right there. Even Duke and Wake Forest in basketball. So you basically lost money by not bringing in West Virginia. All those rivalries, not only would you have brought in the revenue of West Virginia, but you would have brought in more revenue from the members you already have. You'd be able to tap into those markets even more because they like to play West Virginia, and the fans like to watch them play West Virginia and show up to the games whenever they play West Virginia. So that financial decision made absolutely no sense, and it hurts you. Not bringing in West Virginia absolutely hurt the ACC. And now it looks like it's too late because West Virginia has signed the new grant of rights for the Big 12, so they will be in the Big 12 until at least 2031. So even if you were thinking about bringing in West Virginia, it's too little, too late, it's not happening, and it might turn out to be one of the biggest mistakes that the ACC has ever made. The other biggest mistake, of course, Notre Dame. Makes absolutely no sense. Anytime they go to a bowl, anytime they go to the playoffs, anytime they go to the national championship, or if they were to win the national championship, any money generated from those wins or those appearances are not going to go to the ACC. It's not going to the ACC. It's all going to Notre Dame. So why you have Notre Dame and you're counting them as a member and you give them a vote makes absolutely no sense. They are doing absolutely nothing for you, ACC. What I say at the beginning of this video, I am not trash talking you, Notre Dame. Do not take it that way. You're actually really, really smart. You played the ACC and they fell for it. Congratulations. I am not getting on to you. I am not trash talking you. I am not belittling you. In fact, I'm giving you a round of applause. Well done, Notre Dame. It is you, ACC, that I'm looking at and that I'm talking to, and you're probably going to dissolve because of those bad mistakes. Because you're not making a lot of money. You could have made more money with West Virginia. Of course, that didn't happen, so you're not making that money. And Notre Dame could be one of those teams, one of the 8 teams needed to vote to dissolve the ACC and get rid of the grant of rights, and poof goes the ACC. I hope you're proud of yourself. You stuck to it, you stuck to your principles, you kept West Virginia out, and you gave Notre Dame a vote. Well done, ACC. So y'all in the comments section, how bad of a decision do you think it was for the ACC to never accept West Virginia and to give Notre Dame a vote, even though they're not a full-time member of the ACC? And the second thing is, how much longer do you think the ACC actually lasts? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.